Guys, what did I just witness? As you guys see, I'm not at home. I'm at Newlands currently. So I needed to do the show for you guys live from here. And my heart, I don't know. My nerves are completely shot. I don't know what happened in that game. It's actually quite phenomenal that what I witnessed in this T20 World Cup clash between South Africa and Afghanistan. I mean, for the neutral, can you get a better match? I don't think so. I think it was exceptionally close right until the end. Obviously, 2 super overs. It was a madness, and it was something that we needed to win. We needed to win this match. You know that because of the table, South Africa has New Zealand still to play, and it's a game that we needed to win so that we can maybe guarantee that second spot if we don't beat New Zealand. Now, I believe we can beat New Zealand. Now, of course I do. I think everybody does in this chat believes that we can beat New Zealand as well. But it's going to be a very difficult task. But this does put us in, I think this gives us a lot of confidence and relief as well. But we're going to get into everything. I'm going to summarize the match. I'm going to talk about everything that happened in today's game because it was a nail biter. It was a madness. I mean, I can't believe what I witnessed today. But before we get going with today's show, before we get started, there's a couple of things I'd like you guys to please do. First, subscribe to the channel, please. If you're new, click that notification bell for all future videos. Smash the like button, comment, and share. And don't forget to comment in the comment section after we've ended the stream. We also have something very amazing for you guys. We've got the T20 World Cup guide that we've launched recently. We're going to make it free for a little while. So please go and get copies right now. It acts as a second screen for you while you are watching the T20 World Cup, whether you are at a braai and watching the game together with your friends, or you're alone at home, or whether you're with your family watching this game on TV. The T20 World Cup campaign acts as a guide to help you guys throughout the matches. If you're asking questions like, why is this person coming into bowl? Why has this player been selected? We give you some insight into all of that. So please go ahead and make sure that you download this. It's 100% free right now. And we're going to put on a paywall a little bit later on in the tournament. I'll put the link in the description afterwards for you guys. If you want to go and download it, I will make sure that I do that. But so without further ado, let's get straight into today's show. I'm going to give you a little bit of a summary of what happened in the match, and then I'm going to bring on a special guest on the show to discuss this madness with me, because I don't exactly know what I actually watched today. It was completely crazy. So let's do this. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your review show. I'm your host, Khalid, and this is the show where we're going to be discussing everything that has to do with South Africa versus Afghanistan. I mean, wow. I don't even know where to start. I did a little reel earlier on TikTok and Instagram where I tried to summarize my thoughts in 3 minutes. Normally, I have to try to do it in 1.5 or 1 minute, but there was too much that happened in this game for me to talk about it in just a couple of minutes. So it was a 3-minute video. I tried my best to give you guys the best possible description of everything that took place and what happened. But this show is going to first start off with a summary so that you guys can get an understanding of what actually happened in the game, because I mean, it was a complete madness from my perspective. I don't know how to really I had to take a massive breath because my nerves were completely shot. But as you can see over here, South Africa went in to bat first. And I think we got off, besides Aiden Markram's wicket, I think we got off to a brilliant start with Quinton de Kock and Ryan Rickelton. The pair put on over 100 runs. We got to 126 between the two of them. Quinton de Kock was fantastic, 59 of 41 balls, 5 fours, 3 sixes, a strike rate of 143.90. Ryan Rickelton was fantastic, 61 of 28. This is after he didn't get selected in the World Cup in the first place, by the way, guys. So to see him perform like this, it brings a smile to my face. 61 of 28, 5 fours, 4 sixes, a strike rate of 217.85. Phenomenal setup for the guys. And then things just went a little bit wayward. Things started to fall apart a bit. I mean, Rashid Khan, first and foremost, fantastic. After he was getting pummeled around the ground a bit, it looked like Ryan Rickelton and Quinton de Kock knew exactly what they were going to be getting from Rashid Afghanistan, and they performed absolutely beautifully to be able to get the runs that they did. But they pulled it back a little bit, obviously. And I mean, both Quinton de Kock and Ryan Rickelton dismissed by Rashid Khan. So that just shows the impact that he has for Afghanistan and the importance that he has against Afghanistan. And then Deva Brevis, slow start. David Miller, slow start. Brevis looked like he was going to just smash and go into his full stride, but then 23 of 19, he could only get 1-4-1-6, strike rate 121. Tristan Stubbs, I thought he's going to pull off the same type of heroics that he did in the previous game to get us over that 200-run mark, which we were aiming for. But then it was starting to look like, when he lost his wicket, it was starting to look like we weren't going to get close to 200. But then Marco Jansen, I mean, he did what he needed to do over here. 7 balls, 16 runs, 2 fours, 1 6, a strike rate of 228. I mean, David Miller did contribute with 20 of 15, 1 4, 1 6. You know, these type of situations, I want David Miller to be able to take the strike and face the majority of the balls in these situations. But a lot of the time, I find that he doesn't do that. It happened even in the first super over. He only faced 1 ball. And that shouldn't be the situation. He should farm strike, especially when he's the guy that's experienced at the ground. He's played over 70 matches at this particular ground. He knows the conditions in and out. He should be taking a strike, but that didn't actually happen. But we ended up with 187 for 6. And Amuzai was brilliant, 3 for 41 for Afghanistan, but obviously Rashid Khan as well for 228. And then South Africa had to bowl at Afghanistan and try to restrict them. And I think we did pretty well at the beginning. I mean, we restricted them to 52 for 3, and then things kind of went crazy because Gurbaz was fantastic. 84 or 42 balls, 4 fours, 7 sixes, a strike rate of 200. He completely obliterated South Africa's bowling attack. KG Rabada was, I have to say, guys, I'm a big fan, but he was terrible today. I mentioned on the preview show that maybe they needed to rest him for this game and maybe bring in Anik Nokia, because I think that pace would have been brilliant for him on this particular wicket. They stuck with KG and 1 for 38, an economy of 10.36. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about that final over, because a no-ball wicket off the first ball. I think he went for wide in the second ball, then for 6 in the next ball. And then I think he went, then it was another no ball after that. And they ended up tying the match and it went to a super over. And that's largely, it took away a lot of the hard work that was done by Keshav Maharaj, for example. Lungi Ngidi, 3 for 26. Marco Jansen, decent, but I mean, expensive towards the end. I wasn't really happy with our death bowling today. I think it could have been a lot better. When you put the team on the back foot like you do, when they're 3 down and only 52 runs on the board, that's when you throttle them. And that's when you take them out. And then when you do take out the danger man, don't allow them to settle in again and push on. But even though we got a double strike in the 13th over, and in the 13th over we got a double strike, we still allowed Afghanistan to take the game away from us, particularly the tail enders, and towards the end, and the middle overs, or the finishes, you would say. Amuzai got 22 of 17, and then Rashid Khan 20 of 12, and then Noor Ahmad 15 of 9, and they ended up with 187 to tie the match. Then it was the first super over. Afghanistan, I mean, Lungi Ngidi bowled terribly in that super over. I have to say, all over the show, which is not what I'm used to from Lungi. Both matches at this ground, he bowled very well, as I said. But the super over, I thought they should have gone with Keshav in that first super over already, because, I mean, spin is going to always be difficult to smack around so early on in the match, so late on in the day at this particular ground. But they ended up with 17 for 0. And then I thought, oh no, this is going to be tough. Who are they going to go out with? I thought initially Quinton de Kock and Ryan Rickelton, because they were the informed batters. But they decided to go with David Miller and Brevis. Brevis 1-6 and then out. I mean, then Tristan Stubbs, brilliant there to save another super over. They got 17 for 1, and then it was another super over. I don't know when I've seen 2 super overs in an international match, 2 super overs in 1 game. It is actually crazy that we actually witnessed that. And then they went out to bat this time around. Was it us? Wait, super over 2. It was us that went out to bat, sorry. Tristan Stubbs, again, really good, 1-6. And then David Miller, fantastic. I doubted him. I was doubting him throughout the match. And then the super over, he came through, 16 runs. He was fantastic, 2 sixes. Got us to 23. And Afghanistan needed 24 to win the game. And then Maharaj bowled well at the beginning. Muhammad Nabi for a duck. 2 balls he faced. And then Gurbaz, I don't know why they didn't open with Gurbaz. That was weird. But anyway, Gurbaz went out, 18 runs, 3 sixes. Oh, he made it very nervy for us. But in the end, Keshav was smart. Bowled it wide, took the hit, tried again, and we won the match. So in the end, South Africa win by a super over. And that's 2 very important points for South Africa for this particular game. And I think that it's fantastic that we get that victory because it puts us in a strong position. South Africa needed that win. Currently we have a very good run rate because of the way the game went against Canada. But we should at least say that or expect other teams to also play very well against Canada. But New Zealand are still first on the log by run rate. And we are second, but we need to beat New Zealand. That's unfortunately, that's the way things are going to go. But we are sitting a lot more comfortable, I feel, to finish second in the group currently. But we need to finish first. I would prefer it if we do, just for confidence reasons, etc. Yeah, so that's the summary of the match for those that didn't get the chance to watch it. A lot of people are at work and didn't get the chance to maybe watch the game. And yeah, that's my thoughts. But before I get into the live chat, I have to first read this because this is important. Shadrag, super chat. Thank you a lot for the super chat. What a game. Both teams knew about how important this game was and fought tooth and nail. Rabada may have cost us winning easily, but may win us the cup in the way the team gets closer together after this. And Rabada will always come back, but others think he wasn't that great today. Anik Pool, thanks a lot for the super chat over here. Also coming clutch. Thanks a lot for that one as well. But okay, let me bring on our guest. We got an important guest to bring. As I said, we're going to be on a podcast very soon, and I'm going to be on a podcast very soon, on a show on YouTube very soon, on Friday as it is. I will put it out there when they do send the links, etc. But Sportycast, I'm going to be featuring as a guest on their show, so I thought it's only fair that I bring them on our show too, and we introduce them to you guys. Let's become one community, guys. Share, go follow them. And then hopefully they will follow us and we can become a community and do a lot of content in the future. So welcome to the show, Ziad. Great to see you. First and foremost, how are you doing after this game? Did you get to watch a lot of it or keep an eye on it while you're at work?
Yeah, I'm just checking, is my audio okay? As I seem to have
Your
problems with that from time to time. Okay, yeah, no, so I work in a cricket environment, so cricket's on every screen. Luckily, it was our lunch break, so we got to really get into that 2 super overs. We were actually standing at the supermarket getting our lunch, watching the last few balls on someone's phone. So didn't miss a ball towards the back end especially. And as you can see, I probably went a bit grey during those 2 super overs.
Yeah, that's super overs. When last have you seen a match like of that quality? It was if I take myself away out of it, right, as a supporter of the Proteas, and I take myself away from it, it was a great game for the neutral. What is your thoughts on the match?
Yeah, as a neutral, definitely something you would enjoy, very entertaining. But if you're supporting South Africa, man, you experience all the emotions in that roller coaster. Towards the end of the game, I think Afghanistan had like a 30% chance of winning going into the 19th over. And then when that over ended, suddenly they were the favorites. So very seesaw, very up and down. But yeah, one of the best games of the World Cup, going to be hard to top going forward. A lot of people at work are saying as they're walking past me, that felt like the final. How are we going to top that for the rest of the tournament? So, fantastic game. Yeah. And I think a lot of good things came out of it. When you win a game like that, there's a lot of positives that do come out of it. So hopefully it's not one of those where you peak too early, but I think it's going to
Yeah.
stand the team in good stead going forward, knowing they can deliver in such high pressure moments.
Yeah. I mean, for you personally, I mean, what was the performances that really stood out to you, and where do you feel that it went a little bit wrong? Were you happy with the lineup that was selected for the game as well? Before when the game started, were you happy with who they selected?
Yeah, I kind of expected it. I thought Linda would come in for Bosch. That seems to be the 12 players that they have to rotate in terms of the balance of the team, right? You can't also have too many
Yeah.
frontline bowlers. You need to carry someone who can bat a bit like a Jansen at 7. Linda obviously helped extend the lineup a little bit, but I do feel that the pitch didn't play as everyone anticipated, right? Everyone was saying it would be a bit more spin friendly, and I don't think it was as spin friendly as we anticipated. Even though Afghanistan spinners did really well, it could have been a case of Linda just couldn't execute as well as he normally does. You know, you are going to have an off game here and there, but I almost felt like we would have been better off having the extra seamer in hindsight. But going into the game, both teams thought that spin was going to be more important, and it showed Afghanistan dropped a seamer for a spinner, and we did the same. So I'm not too concerned with the 11 that we put out there. I think it was fair horses for courses type selection, and
Yeah.
in the end it paid off.
Yeah, and I mean, I was particularly impressed with Ryan Rickelton today. I think the way he approached his game, set up his game, the way he played against the spinners, particularly as well, he really looked comfortable out in the middle. It's crazy that to think that he wasn't in the initial World Cup squad before the injury to Tony and Donovan.
Yeah, I have my own conspiracy theories around that. I don't think the Zozi was ever going to make it. I think the injury was bad. So they didn't work out, and I feel like Rickelton was always going to be there. And yeah, it worked out. Fantastic innings, like you said, just the way he picked his spots, when to attack and when to, play it a bit safe. Because we didn't come out of that power play, rolling. I think we got 43
Yeah.
off the power play, so it wasn't a big one. But then taking advantage of that middle overs really was something special, because that's where I've seen a pattern, especially in this World Cup, where teams are slowing down. They're trying to literally consolidate more in order to launch in the back five.
Yes.
So the ability of South Africa to accelerate in that phase was critical, I think, in getting towards a better total, especially with the wicket being a bit slower than anticipated.
Yeah. So I'm just going to get your last thoughts over here, because obviously it's New Zealand next. So it's a big match. Any changes you're going to want to see in the game? I know we're going to speak about it probably on Friday on your channel. But looking forward to the game against New Zealand?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure where the game is. I can't remember the venue, but I do know it's a night game, so that does bring the dew factor into it. And if you look at the way
Same stadium,
batting,
same venue.
Same stadium.
Same venue. Same venue.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a pacer come in, so probably Bosch out for Linda. I am a bit concerned about Rabada's form, but I saw the comment, I think it was from Shadrag, where he's going to come good for us in the game here and coming up. So I definitely back him. I wouldn't look to change too much because he is a match winner on his day. I just think we should use him a bit better earlier and not try to rely on him in the 20th over. The back three, I'm probably looking at Ngidi, Jansen, Ngidi, or Jansen, Ngidi, Jansen, something along those lines for the last 3 overs, depending on who is bowling well early on, and then also if we need wickets, who do we bring on early? I thought they did fairly well with the bowlers today. Markram did well. I was worried about that over that Linda had to bowl. Would Markram have bowled a second, or would it have been Linda? But he played that well, and Linda did deliver with a wicket in his third over, so fair play to him. But yeah, I think Bosch comes in for Linda, and trying to keep that New Zealand batters quiet is going to be a challenge, because the way they've set up the 11 is to go hard up front. And when I say hard, I mean like and then they kind of sit in the middle as well. So in game, but I think it's probably going to be too stressful because both teams are going to go through. So something we don't have to worry about.
Just losing you a bit, Ziad. The connection. Yeah, so we're just losing Ziad a bit. The connection is not that great at the moment. I'll bring him on again just to shout out. But we got the gist of that. Okay, he's back. Okay. Sorry, we were just losing you with the connection there, but yeah. No, it's not working. Okay. I don't know what's going on. So yeah, so it's awesome that we got this guest on the show, because I'm just gonna get him. Is he back again? Yes, he's back. Okay, let me just give him back. Sorry, man. It was just disconnecting a bit.
No, my bad. Yeah.
Just the last bit that you were saying?
No, I was just saying that I expect it to be a high-scoring game, because that is the way New Zealand set up the 11 and they go quite hard. So, I mean, 200 plays 200, probably something we're looking at. More of a shootout than anything else. But it will be exciting. Both teams would be safe. So the cricket might be a bit more loose, nothing too tense. And then just how we execute going forward into the Super 8.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you a lot, Ziad, for coming on the show. Can you just give a quick shout out to your channel as well, where they can follow you guys and etc. And yeah, you can just give a quick shout out.
Yeah, thanks for the platform. Appreciate it, and looking forward to doing the recording with you on Friday. We will cover some of the World Cup so far. Obviously, a bigger focus into South Africa and their performance thus far, and looking ahead. But I'll touch on some of the other groups and some of the other matches and performances as well. For us at Sportycast, we cover all sport. Mostly at the moment, we are doing football. So we have a podcast called 343 on our channel. It's live tonight at 7 p.m. So if you are in South Africa, 7 p.m. live tonight, talking about the Premier League. Obviously, a lot of crazy results last night. The United fan didn't get his haircut. So we'll be chatting a bit more about that and some other results later this evening. So please join us. Feel free to. And then on the socials, we're on all the platforms at Sportycast. We cover baseball, basketball, rugby, tennis, golf, the works. Not obviously in depth with regards to a live show, but I do update, general news stories and headlines with that. So feel free to support us, join us, grow the community, and then looking forward to the collab.
Cool, awesome, yeah. Thoughts as well. That's great. So okay, yeah, Ziad, I'll see you on Friday. And thanks a lot for joining the show.
Lekker, man. Thanks for having me.
See you, man. Cool. So yeah, let's continue with the show. I just want to get quickly I emailed something to myself, but I just want to check it through. Let's just double check. Did I send it through? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It is sent. Okay, let me just do that again, because I want to listen to Ryan Rickelton's presser quickly, because there might be some updates, maybe George Linda, I'm hoping, etc. And I want to play it for you guys on the show. So I'm just going to email it to myself quickly so that I can have access to it and play it for you guys. Yes, send. But yeah, it was fun to talk to Ziad and get his insights. And we're going to chat to him a little bit more on Friday morning. I will tell you guys, you'll see on socials probably. I'll reshare it or whatever when they post it. I will share with you when the show is, etc. Where is this now? Yeah, there we go. Found the audio. I just want to listen to, before I get into the live chat, I just want to quickly get the audio of Ryan Rickelton and go through it with you guys, because I'm also going to be listening to it live for the first time with you guys to hear what he had to say. For me, he was the man of the match, in my opinion. I think he batted beautifully. So I think that it was the right thing to do to get him in the presser. So we will listen to this live now with you guys now on the show. I don't normally do a live post-match reaction for the press conferences for the show. Today I'm gonna, because it's a special one, because I think I want to hear about the injury updates, because they might be. So let's just have a listen quickly.
Ryan, I think the best way to start is just thoughts, please.
Cricket sucks. That's the number one thought, I think. Yeah, I think yes, it was a cracking game. I actually don't even have many words to describe it. I'm just really chuffed we got over the line in the end.
Are you guys speaking to KG yet?
No, KG will we'll give him a bit of time, but we'll get our arms around him. We'll probably get a couple of drinks down him later, and yeah, he's one of us through thick and thin, so he's always going to be there.
Did you think? I mean, 2 super overs after that second super over? Did you think that okay, now they need 24 or 4 balls?
Yeah,
and then they almost got there. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
No, I think obviously the anxiety of that. I said to Dave, who was next to me, I said, "Come on, 2 dots, we win this game, wicket, and then 3 sixes in a row." You obviously set the cat among the pigeons there. So we were just standing there saying, "Surely not. This can't be real." But like I say, just over the moon that we managed to get over the line.
We'll take one at the back and then go ahead, Sasha.
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much, because it's one of the best match we have seen. Secondly, why Maharaj was selected for the final over? Was there anything been discussed out and
Why Keshav? Why Keshav was selected? I actually was unsure. I thought KG or Marco was going to go, but it came from Shukri saying he thinks Kesh should go. And yeah, credits where credit's due. I guess it worked. Came down to the last wire. We tried to change it up. I think bowl slow and wide and try to get them to hit over extra cover for 6 to the big boundary. That would be the thinking, which is probably the most difficult shot to do, I think. So I guess that would have been the plan. Yeah, just glad it came off.
Can you just tell us what happens in those times before, the game ends, and then you decide who's going to bat? Are guys saying, I will go, or is it should be decided?
I think it's generally the discussion between, the death hitters, Dave and Aiden. Quinny and I and Aiden were kind of, we weren't options, I suppose. But I mean, that's why you got guys like Miller and Stubbs, guys that can finish games, that can hit those low full tosses for 6. And that last shot of Stubbo to hit that low full toss for 6 to take us to the second over proves exactly why, they're worth their money. It's incredibly difficult. But the discussion was always our big hitters, Brevis, Stubbs, Miller were always going to be the 3.
Okay, so that was predetermined. At least we know that. Wasn't about the situation. Because with regards to super overs, I always believe that the players that were batting, that were in form in the match, should go and take the super overs. Often in super overs, we don't see that happen, actually. We see the opposite. I've seen many T20 games or other games where I've seen that actually it was predetermined who's going to play a super over, like they decide beforehand. So I didn't necessarily agree with it. And then Deva Brevis basically proved me wrong almost, 6 and out. But yeah, I think it should be on form in the match and who performed in that match. But yeah, coaches have their own reasons for doing things. I mean, you do select people for reasons. I mean, if you're picked to be a finisher in the side, you should go and do your job ultimately.
And if you had to describe the kinds of feelings, you're watching it, nothing you can really do, I suppose.
Yeah.
How would you describe just that whole last bit?
Just anxiety. I think we're standing there, all of us sitting there upstairs, fingers crossed, come on guys, just more hope than anything. But yeah, like I said, it was an absolute whirlwind of a game. Yeah, we were all in it. We rode the emotions, obviously, just like everyone else did. And it was pretty tough, I will say. But yeah, just glad that we got over the line.
Right, must seem like last week that you were out there sharing a century stand with Putin. Do you even remember it?
I do remember it quite well. Lovely to bat with Quinny. He's such an ace for us. Controls the game really well and helped me through that period as well. I think we're complementing each other quite nicely when we have a partnership. So yeah, hopefully looking forward to spending more time out there with him.
And then just what does it do to a team to come through hard struggle like that quite early in a tournament. It feels like a good thing.
It does, yeah. It gives us a proper wake-up call. You know, things you can't take for granted. Afghanistan's a team they're a serious cricket team. No one ever took them for granted, but it's just the small things when you have opportunities to close down games, or when you have opportunities with the foot on their throat. You can't let any team back in. So it is a bit of a wake-up call, I'd like to think. Just in trying to have that edge, have that sharpness, and when you get ahead, stay ahead, and just make sure that you're looking after those really small things. Like I said, it can come back to bite you. So it'd be a nice wake-up call for all of us, and a lot of things we can get better at.
Yeah, there are a lot of things you can get better at.
Sharp, and the run-out today was one example. What have you seen from him in terms of the things he's been working on, and the fielding in general? I suppose he's kind of leading the energy.
Yeah, he just has this aura, I suppose, about him. He's pulling guys left, right, and center. He has a presence. He doesn't really, make a lot of noise behind the stumps, but he has a strong presence. We all know we all know where our eyes are going between him and Aiden. But it's just the sharpness of the game, what he sees from behind the stumps, the words he gives in the team chats, when there drinks or wickets or something like that. He actually runs a lot more than you think. So he's a complete asset. He's obviously played a hell of a lot of cricket. He's seen a lot of things before as well. So, he'll definitely weigh in on what needs to be said tonight and tomorrow, and on the reflection of the game. But he's definitely got that sharpness, that presence. And I think we can all learn a lot from him, just about how in tune he is with the game.
Do you think South Africa's fielding pieces, those runouts,
Is anybody going to ask about George?
what a little difference in the end,
Yes, fielding always makes a bit of a huge difference, I suppose. I think we have a really good fielding unit. We've got guys that catch well, we've got guys that move well. I mean, that catch that George took to dismiss Gobaz was a game-changing moment. And I think the sharpness that we have, on the ground fielding and in the air as well, our catching percentages are quite good. And it's something that we always need to top up with. Because like you said, the small moments, Quinny throwing to the other side to get that run out, again, saves a run. In the biggest scheme of things today, that's a massive win for us. So it's something that we're always topping up on, and something that we can always, try to hold on to, especially, and make sure we get it right in those clutch moments.
Okay, so that's it. That's the presser. No update on George. I have sent a request in to ask about him to see. Let's see if I get an answer by the end of the show. I probably won't. I'm not sure if I will, but okay, let's see. Let's get into the live chat quickly. Colin says the protest. What? The protest. What? The Proteas better pay for my hospital bill. Okay, because you said protest. I'm sorry. Hospital bill. My heart couldn't take anymore. Feel like I have aged 20 years. Okay, yeah, bro. If you ask my fellow colleagues and friends that were watching the game with me at Newlands, you will get probably a lot of funny responses about my reactions towards the Proteas. My roller coaster emotions. I was in 500 different moods. 1 minute I'm saying, no, this play is crap. And in the next moment I'm saying, yes, go, that play is the best. And so I was up and down. Spuda says, I nearly died twice during the game, man. King says, please remove Rabada. Mapaka should play. Cullen says, what a fantastic job Rickelton and Stubbs have done since joining the squad 100%. Shadrach says, Khalid called the 2 super overs in the guide, guys. Go get it. That's my partner, probably James King, that would have that helped me put that guide together, that would have called that one. I would like to see Jason Smith come in as an all-rounder against New Zealand. King says teams have figured out Reva's weak point, slow ball bouncer. Safra says, does Kagiso Rabada have a problem with no balls, Khalid, because it is becoming a trend with him in the white ball format? I've seen it become a trend in the white ball format. I don't know what is going on with KG's bowling recently. It's like his rhythm is completely off. He doesn't look the same bowler that we knew him 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know the reasons. A lot of people will make jokes about it, that it's other reasons, but I'm not going to cross the line there. So with regards to this, we need to sort it out, because his confidence levels, I mean, he's a very confident guy naturally, so I don't think it's confidence levels. I just think it's rhythm. And if he's not performing, and maybe it's overplaying, he's playing too much cricket perhaps, I don't know. But I think because in Test cricket he's fantastic, but in white ball cricket he's been off for a while. For the SA20 he's been off. IPL he hasn't been that great. So would it harm him to maybe let him sit out for a little bit, for one game or so? I don't think so, especially when you have Andrich Nokia and Corbin Bosch waiting on the bench. Alvin says, wow, what an amazing ad for this wonderful game. The best cricket match I've watched in 30 plus years. I've got no nails left though. King says, Nokia is even worse. He leaks runs. Mapaka is better option. Tex says, bro, Khalid, let's be clear. Rabada has been so bad lately. Lungi's out bowls in every game. He is the weak link in the bowling attack. Also, he has been a noble machine. He was the reason England scored 300. Wow. Strong words from Tex. Dak says, oh Lord, what a match. Shock. Afghanistan keep toe to toe with Proteas, but thanks Kishi, Miller, Stubbs to out skin their opponents. Okay. I've never heard that phrase before. Dak says, do you think we must sing Klaasen in white ball for the Proteas? I don't think so. Alvin says, you know how much I love KG, but today he nearly cost us the World Cup. Was plain poor the first one. Bad enough you sort of get away with it, then do it again. Disappointed. Tax is on my way to Paul. If the Zozi also smiles at the end, I hydrated drink. Hope steam fast in Proteas. What is that? I don't understand what you're saying, Tax. Stubbs ticket, which has been as good India tour warm up versus India at this World Cup. That's why they are ahead of Pereira. Shadrach says, we will beat New Zealand after this game. We have a few days to rest with no travel, and the team will be fired up after the win. KG will also bounce back when he plays again. King JLJ says, KG needs to rest. He was never a T20 bowler. Give him back a chance. SAPX70D says, KG almost cost us the match. 2 no balls in a crunch match is simply criminal from Rabada. That's Kiki AF says, I almost said it, what it actually is. The test will be seeing how KG gets through this, a test of how strong his mentality is. That's true. I have to admit that. He's going to have to show a lot of character to bounce back. SAPX70D says, SA did everything to lose, but somehow got out of jail. Hats off to Stubbs and Miller and Ngidi. Dak says, KG or Corbin a tough matchup. Jacobus now. Do I even want to read this out? Is the question. Thoughts on KG's last over? You busy here, normal commenting. You'll be able to afford a super chat too. Come on, boy. Thoughts on KG's last over? Do you think KG should be our go-to death bowler? King says, I saw Linda got injured on the game. Simon Armour is ready to coach. I've asked about it. I haven't heard a response yet. It will be tough to get a response right now about it. I'll probably have to update you guys maybe in the next show. Shadrach says Mutasami should be next in line if Linda is injured. Jacobus Nal again. I'm not reading out another comment of you unless it's a super chat. Why do you think Ryan Rickelton didn't bat in the super over? Because Coach Shukri probably thought that Ryan gave the answer. They predetermined who's going to be the guys to be the big hitters that are going to take the super overs, and it was predetermined. SAPX70D says Corbin Bosch has to play every match. He is the only fast bowler who has the ability to bowl Yorkers. Alvin says, and nearly had a heart attack when they picked Kesh for second super over. Gutsy, but not a good decision. Janssen was better option. But all well, that ends well. Made it amazing game and tested us. King JLJ says, Corbin Bosch can't bat in T20. He should not be considered as an all-rounder. On Linda's injury, I do not have one. I asked, but I didn't hear any response. Khalid, we love you, says Jacobus. Liar. SA said, it's sad to see SA develop spinners of the 24 World Cup final. Every team has a good wrist spinner, but both are our spinners of similar type. Linda and Maharaj, we should have picked Harmer. Alvin says, winning these extreme pressure moments is better for the team than comprehensive victories. I agree with you. This tests our grit and fight when under the pump. You need those moments. It's valuable going forward, especially for World Cups. It's very important. Ayanda Francis Film 440 says, any update on George Linda? I do not have an update. I have asked, but I haven't got any update. Ignoring your comments, Jacobus. Now, Alvin says, Linda coming home and Harmer maybe to replace. Did not look good. Did not look good. I was very worried. King JLJ says, Harmer is best option if Linda is ruled out. Alvin says, in closing, I'm proud of the boys. And just like you said, Miller won us this. Doug says, our WTC winner coach did very good coaching and a good strategy in Super Over. ID number says we should focus on finishing the game well. Last 8 overs for about 50 to 60 runs is below par. If added around 30 more runs, Afghanistan should have reached the target. ID number also says, having said that, what a match. It's a good to be under pressure. This will give the boys confidence going forward. Rabada will come good, matter of time. And then Daksha, sorry, my typepad is mistakenly typing words. I mean to say that while Rickelton had stuff is ahead of Ferreira. Okay, bro, I forgive you, I guess. Theo Jonker says, are we missing Shamsi? I do think we're missing a wrist spinner. Shamo has his days where he's brilliant and then has his days when he's not. And I do think to an extent to have him as an option would be great. And to not have him here is a problem. Just Ginger says KG has a toxic relationship with Mike. I should have read that before I said it. Hannah Francis Film 440 says, Cricket Fanatics magazine, the best second largest cricket teacher magazine in the land, the best. It is the best, it is actually the second best in the land, because if you guys go to Feed Spot, you'll see that Cricket Fanatics is second. So you can make your jokes here, Hannah. Anik says, Khalid, you're a legend. Thank you, Anik. That says, we are in a problem. We're always missing someone. Guys, I think that's it for me. Thanks a lot for the super chats. Thanks a lot for joining in. Thanks for all the comments in the comment section below. I will be posting the link to the guide, to the companion in the description after we've ended the stream. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Click the notification bell for all future videos. Smash the like button, comment, and share. And go download our T20 World Cup companion. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you again for another review show very, very soon. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Peace out.